I'm making one of my favorite recipes, healthy donuts. So we're starting off with a 1/2 cup of coconut sugar. If you haven't heard of coconut sugar, it's just a less refined version of regular sugar. So you could use regular organic cane sugar, or you could use brown sugar or coconut sugar, anything works. So a 1/2 cup of coconut sugar or regular sugar, 1 egg, 1/2 cup milk of choice. You could use almond milk, coconut milk, regular milk, again, whatever you have on hand or whatever you prefer. A teaspoon of vanilla extract, maybe a little more, perfect. A pinch of salt, 1 cup of gluten-free flour. I'll show you which one I like to use for this recipe. So gluten-free flours can be a little bit finicky, but this one works really well in this recipe. This is the one I always use. I have not tried a different one in this recipe yet before. Next, we're adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then last but not least, we are gonna add 3 tablespoons of melted oil. This is coconut oil, so you could use melted coconut oil, you could use avocado oil, you could even use olive oil. And we are just gonna whisk this all together until it is completely combined. And it's so easy to make. 1 bowl, just a few ingredients. These are gluten-free and dairy-free. So I'm gonna grab my donut pan here. This is a silicone one. I find that this works best because nothing sticks to it. I did spray it with a little bit of avocado oil spray, and then I'm just placing it on a tray just so that it doesn't fall all over when I'm placing it into the oven. So I'm gonna scoop the batter into our donut pan. It's okay if it gets a little bit messy. This recipe makes 6 donuts, so make sure to fill each donut mold all the way. You could also do this with a piping bag to make it a little bit more neat, or a plastic baggie, but we're just keeping it real simple today. Once your donut pan is filled, you can kind of gently spread it so that it is nice and smooth and evenly distributed throughout the mold. So I'm just going around to each one and gently kind of spreading it. Like I said, it is helpful to use a piping bag or a plastic bag and cut off the corner, but this works too. I'm gonna take a paper towel and just kind of wipe around the edges to keep things nice and neat. And then you can kind of shake your donut pan a little bit just to make sure there's no air bubbles. All right, these are ready to go into the oven. My oven is preheated to 350, and these are gonna bake about 15 to 17 minutes. And then we're gonna do the next couple steps, which make them extra delicious, extra fun, and extra pretty. So these will go into the oven, and then we'll let them cool and do the next step. All right, we'll see them again in 15 to 17 minutes. Okay, it's been 17 minutes, and look at these donuts. They look and smell so good. So I'm just gonna let these cool for a bit before removing them from the pan. That's super important just to make sure that they don't stick. So let them cool completely, and then we'll remove them from the pan. All right, it is time to take our donuts out of the pan. They have pretty much fully cooled. So I'm taking a tray with parchment paper that we're just gonna set them on here. Look at how perfectly that pops out. And this side is just absolutely perfect. So the next step is my favorite part. So once we get these out, we will work on the next step, which, like I said, I think is the best part. So these come out of the mold super easily. So I'm just gently removing each donut. I can't believe that these are gluten-free. All right, you may notice that one of the donuts is already gone. I just could not help myself because these are so good. But I did go around and kind of slice off a part of the donut just so that these sit nice and evenly. So if you have any uneven sides, you can just go gently cut it off. That side won't show because that's gonna be the bottom anyway. So over here I have some melted chocolate with a little bit of coconut oil. And I'm just gonna gently take each donut and dip it into this melted chocolate. Look at how good that looks. I absolutely love making these donuts. No one will ever guess that they are healthier, they're gluten-free, dairy-free. Just gotta be a little bit careful when you're dipping them. We'll just dip each one into our chocolate. You could also kind of customize these however you wanted. You could do white chocolate. You could do a cinnamon sugar coating instead of any chocolate. And honestly, they're super good as is, so you really don't even need to add anything if you don't want. But I always just think that this part is fun. So we'll dip our last one, and then we have one more step. So for our last step here, we're gonna add some sprinkles. I'm using these sprinkles that have no artificial dyes, and they look super cute on donuts. Look at how perfect these turn out. So adding my sprinkles. I mean, guys, I would take these over a donut shop any day, especially when they're gonna make you still feel really good after eating them, instead of feeling kind of yucky and weighed down after eating regular donuts. These ones just turn out so good. So you can eat them as is, or you can chill them in the fridge if you want the chocolate to firm up a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do before trying one out. Okay, I take it back. I'm just gonna try one right now because I don't wanna wait any longer. So I am going to just go ahead and take a donut, and let's do a little close-up shot. These are gonna be a little bit messy because I didn't stick them in the fridge, but I think it's gonna be worth it. So let's try it. These are absolutely delicious. Like I said, no one would guess that these are healthier. They're super doughy in the middle and crispy edges with the chocolate and sprinkles. These are a 10 out of 10. You have to try these out. Let me know in the comments if you'll make these super easy, gluten-free and healthier chocolate donuts.